What's up, guys? So, I guess the question everyone has been asking is why? Why did I decide to cut my locks off? Well, it's four things: depression, confusion, insecurity, and I was afraid. And the reason why I say those as to why I cut them is because I was afraid of the man I was becoming. I was confused on becoming that man, and I was insecure about becoming that man. And I was going through a bunch of changes, mainly good ones, as to why I cut my locks off. um, it's been this is 3 years. This is a journey of 3 years of growing my hair out. Now I've only had this YouTube for about roughly over a year now, so this is all that my viewers on here know me for. But outside of that, I am a musician. So a lot of my supporters and a lot of my friends, they they seen me when I was this to this. But yeah, the reason why I cut them is because I was just changing, and I was figuring out how to let things go as far as people, relationships, connections, clothing, objects, and obviously hair. But there's been highs, there have been lows. I've made bad decisions. I've done a lot of things within these. I feel like, and I know what you're probably thinking. You could just change your way of thinking. It had nothing to do with your hair, but it goes deeper than it just being hair. Now I remember maybe like a year or two ago. Not to bring anyone up, but my ex girlfriend had locks, right? And there was a point where when we were together or got back together, she had cut her hair because she had locks just like me. And when she cut them, she basically said how she was releasing energy. And there was a lot of darkness and a lot of bad energy connected to her locks. I didn't really understand what she meant, but now fast forward like 1 or 2 years later, I understand where she was coming from. So yeah, but no slight to her. Back to the video, back to me. Um yeah, I just needed to let go all that I was holding in me because within these 3 years of having locks, I'm not gonna say that the whole journey has been bad. I didn't get anything good out of it. I definitely came across some good while I had my locks, but just over time, there's been things that just things that started to really get in the way and started to affect who I was while I had the locks. Which is why I say this contains a lot of dark energy. And I'm not a spiritual person. I don't really do all those stones and crystals but I do believe in vibrations and spirits and energies, which is a form of spirituality, but I'm not on that side of things. You feel me? So, yeah, I started to do a lot of evolving and changing within, say, the last couple of months or so. It didn't really take effect until Christmas of 2024, which was not that long ago. By the time I'm recording this, it is May 4th. So, since Christmas, I've been evolving into the person I am now. I had to cut people off. I've had to drop certain habits and get myself right. It was just like, I don't know what got into me to where I felt like I had to do better for myself. I think it's because I reached that breaking point of where I was doing so much that was affecting me negatively. I didn't really see it And it just happened to hit me once Christmas time came around. I guess being around family and just getting that vibe of them, just that loving feeling and how we're all doing our certain thing. I felt like I was kind of at a dark stage where I felt like everyone was in a better place mentally and when we're all together. So from that day, I started to change. I think on that day I quit smoking weed, and I've been sober ever since. I don't really drink that often, so that's not really a thing. I started working out every day. I started eating better. I started taking my fitness more professionally now. I can actually thank my friend AJ for hooking me up, so appreciate you. But yeah, I stopped vaping too, because I was vaping for a long time. That wasn't doing me no justice. It just made my anxiety worse. Sleeping habits have gotten better. I think as I started to better myself and drop all the darkness that was starting to overcome me, I had to start letting things go. Connections that weren't doing me no justice. People who were just holding baggage. Habits that were like throwing all my regular routines off course. Like I kept procrastinating, I kept smoking, I kept sleeping. It was just a lot of things. I had to break that, and it all started on Christmas Day. So I think what really made me do it, because my hair's been like this for the last 2 days. Today's May 4th. I cut my hair May 2nd. So this is my second day with a fresh afro. And I mainly was looking back at old pictures of myself when I was like 17, 18, where I had this look, and I was like, it kind of brought me back to a peaceful place of like, where I still had my innocence, you know what I'm saying? I was a teenager. I didn't really experience life for what it was yet, or to some degree. And then it made me think about now. It's like, I got tattoos, I got locks, I graduated, I got this job, and since I got my locks, all that has happened. Like, I graduated school, I got a good paying job, but then I started dealing with women, dealing with money, dealing with drugs, dealing with music, living the whole rock star life. And there was a lot of bad and negative that came with it that I wasn't aware of. We're not gonna really get into detail, but there was a lot of bad. Honestly, a lot of bad. I look back on it now like, bro, from 2022 to now, it's like, damn, dog, like, what the fuck was I thinking? You feel me? So I don't want to make this long. I don't want to make this emotional. I don't want to get too, but just on a serious note though, I changed for the better. And I'm going to keep my locks. I'm pretty sure whoever cuts their locks keeps them, but this is just a reminder of what I could possibly go back to if I choose to go down that route again. Who's to say I'm not going to get locks again? Who's to say I am? We'll just have to see what the future holds, but this is a reminder of what I choose, what I could choose to go back to, or what I could choose to stay away from. Because I'm not going to lie, there was some good times. Like, looking at these locks, I can literally see every moment that I've had since I started growing my hair out. From January 11th of 2022 to May 2nd of 2025, I can see every single moment. Every crash out, every heartbreak, every show that I've ever done, every song that I recorded, every person I've dealt with, every relationship, every person I met. All that energy is contained in these. And I know that this is a human's crown, but I have to grow another one. I have to grow a new one, a better one. I understand it now. But yeah, it was basically all the new things and things that I'm doing is basically to better myself. You know, if I can rebuild connections, I'll just let the opportunity present itself. I'm eating better. I'm getting my body in shape. I'm making better music. I'm pushing YouTube content out. That's new. Um, Sleeping habits are better. I stopped smoking. I've been sober for about 7 months now. I feel like some of my skills that I didn't know I had, I've either gotten better or I picked up on skills to just that completely makes me a better person, but it's definitely a step from who I was and definitely a improvement from who I used to be. Cause I know in times where I had my locks, I know I was wrong. Like I can take full accountability. I can take responsibility. I know I was wrong. I know there were some things that I shouldn't have done, things that I shouldn't have said. There were a bunch of lies and a lot of misjudgment and a lot of miscommunication. I lost friends because of that. I lost strong family connections because of that. There were people who I associated myself with that made me lose other connections and lose other friends, important friends at that. Not to get too, touchy, but yeah, there have been a lot of bad decisions made, a lot of darkness. But I felt like what I had to learn was taking accountability, acceptance, and learning how to let things go. That's what got me to this point. Taking accountability, letting go, and acceptance. That's what led me to finally starting a new chapter in my life. Without my dreadlocks, without my locks. And once I learned those three, it made things for like the past, I'll say these last 3 months easier. Through all my crash outs, through all my fallouts, through all my mental breakdowns, through all my moments, once I learned those three tools, everything started to change. Now I know that there's some things I can't get back. I can't take back. So we gotta move forward. Those who I've done wrong, I apologize. Those who I've done right by, still, I apologize. It may have been for reasons I look at differently now. But this isn't an apology video. This isn't me trying to get back on anyone's good side. All I'm saying is, I'm not going to say that I'm a changed human, but this is a new journey. And I evolved into the man that I wanted to be. Because I felt like while I had my locks, I wasn't that. Which is why I was confused. Which is why I was angry. Which is why I was afraid. I was scared. Because I was becoming someone who I didn't want to be. Who I thought I wanted to be wasn't what I wanted to be, if that makes sense. I felt like everything that I saw online or on TV or the music that I was listening to, the fashion that I was looking at, the things that made me, it was just because I had the locks. It was simply just because I had the locks. All them flashy chains I had, all the nice clothes, all the rock star ass mosh pit music, that was just because I had the locks, bro. I mean, part of that lifestyle is me. But when it started to become like that's all people knew me from, and not literally like what I do on YouTube, what I show you guys, once it became more than that, I was like, okay, that's when I started to go crazy. That's why, like, I was so used to changing my name every couple of months. If you don't know my history behind that, I'm gonna just quick little side story. So, I'm a musician outside of YouTube, right? I'm June, currently. Now, when I started in 2022, when I started my locks, I was Who Junior. That was my artist name, Who Junior. Some things happened maybe like a year down the line that caused me to change my name. That's when it began. Once I started having name changes that affected where I was mentally, that energy connected to my crown. It connected to my crown. And then as I started to keep changing my name, I was changing my appearance, changing who I was, and I wasn't myself. I kept trying to be what the public wanted, or what Instagram wanted, or what YouTube wanted. I lost myself because of what I saw, and what I thought was cool, what I thought was right was what I started going after. And I lost full control and authenticity of myself. That's why I was going crazy. That's why when you come on this channel, One Way June channel, if you go to all my past videos from last year, you're going to see how my YouTube username changed maybe like twice. It was Solo's Way in the very beginning. Then it was June 101. Now we're One Way June. So you see, that's where the identity crisis comes in. That's where the imposter syndrome comes from. Like I said, it was a lot of dark that happened in these times. I'm sorry I keep bringing this up, but this is a real life example, bro. All the discoloration. I'm not sure if y'all can see, but you see how some locks are blue, some are purple, and some are green, and some are brown. Come on, some of these weren't even healthy. Like, and don't get me wrong, I took perfect care of my hair. But then, stress, depression, all that shit can start to, affect you physically. It can affect your hair, it can affect your hygiene, your weight, your everything. But since I started doing better and moving away from that and actually growing within myself, which is growing with my people skills, which is, acting more calm. Like I'm starting to journal my thoughts now. I'm listening to more calm music. I'm really getting myself right, because that crazy lifestyle that I was on 3 years ago up to now, I feel like I've seen and done it all. I'm only 22. And I know from the outside looking in, you probably think I haven't done shit yet, because I'm only 22. But if you walked in my shoes since I've gotten my locks, I've done a lot of things that people would have never imagined. I've done so many things that at this age a lot of 22-year-olds wouldn't have done, or 21 or 20. I've done a lot, and I've seen a lot, and I have years ahead. I have years ahead of me, plenty of years ahead of me. I have light years ahead of me, where I could probably see more, for better or for worse. But for right now, I'm definitely doing better. I can say that truthfully and honestly. Because once I started to let go, something was holding me back. It was like I started being honest. I was cutting off people. I was eating better. I'm working out. I'm sleeping. I'm dressing better. I feel healthy. I feel confident. I'm knocking videos out. It's just like, what else? I was thinking, like, what else do I need to do? Like, something just doesn't feel right. I was like, something just isn't, like, what is it that's bothering me so much? I didn't look in the mirror. I was changing the outfits. I'm eating better. I'm working out, I'm eating protein bars and drinking, I'm just doing all this healthy shit. Like, bro, for example, right? Not sure if y'all can see that, but it says lean muscle. Okay? I'm working out, bro. And the sunrise. The sun just rose as I'm saying this. I guess I can cut this ring light off now. Hold on for a second. I started to do all these great things to my body and to my mental and in my reality, so I'm just like, what's missing? I didn't look in the mirror. I'm like, why am I feeling so held back? Like, I'm on a good path. I'm going forward, but it's like there's this weight on me. Mentally. Maybe even a little bit physically. I looked in the mirror. And when I saw that reflection of myself, I knew right then and there. These gotta go. I know that may seem kind of crazy where it's like, damn, it's like that. But yes, that's how serious it was. It was just like I made that decision right then and there. These gotta go. Now, I didn't cut them right at that moment. Because then again, I do have a job. So I had to wait till I had some time. I went to work, finished my shift, came home, stopped at the beauty supply store, then went home, and got right to work. That change really set in maybe like a month or two ago. And it just started to take effect. Like that initiation process of the change started in March, but it didn't hit till 2 days ago. I was doing everything right until it got down to the physical appearance. Everything was fine. Everything that I was doing with myself and with my life was beautiful. And it still very much is. But these babies, sadly, had to come to an end. These had to leave the scalp. They're now looking at these, I am proud of myself. But then again, I couldn't have these around for what I was aiming for. I couldn't have these locks stick around for me achieving better because there was already a lot of darkness connected to these. There's always a lot of bad moments. There was a lot of sex, money, bad decision making, heartbreak, crash out, whatever it is, you name it. Toxicity, everything. Diss tracks, fights, mental distress, like job issues, relationship issues, people, friends, like everything is a part of these. Everything. And as they start to get old and fade and whatever, this is a reminder. Now, will I grow a new set of locks? I don't know. I might. We have to see what the future holds. I can't see the future. I'm not Raven. I don't know how I'm gonna look around October time when my birthday comes. But with that being said, everything of what I just explained is why I cut my locks off. Now, do I miss it? A little bit. But am I used to the fro? 2 days deep, 48 hours in? Yes, sir. I got people looking at me, and that's what it is. And I know we all have an obvious question, and I've been dodging it, but now I'm starting to pick up on it. Why did I keep this? I know you've been saying that throughout this whole video. Why did I keep this? Because I wanted to. There's no spiritual meaning behind it. I just wanted to keep one. Not sure if that's the answer you wanted. This wasn't because the gods and the stones and I just wanted to keep one. I thought it low key looked swaggy, so I put a little gold clip on there. That's all it is. And if you want to be completely transparent, I was doing this shit way before Locs even came into the picture. When I was like 17, 16, bro, when I was in high school, that was low key. Like, I was doing this shit way before it was even popular. I'm not even sure if it's popular now, but I brought it back. Granted, back when I was doing it, it wasn't that long, but if you look now, I got some length to this hoe. I'm about to name this one Junior for real, cause this one stuck through. Plus, he right beside me. He right by my face. Now, is there a difference between this one and the other ones? Absolutely not. Once again, these are a reminder. And this is definitely a reminder because it's still connected to my head. This ain't going nowhere. But yeah, why do I still got this one lock? Shit cool. Why do I still got this one lock? Shit cool. Like, but yeah, man, I didn't want this video to be too long. I didn't want to get too deep into it. But I hope I answered your questions. Once again, follow me on Instagram so y'all could find all of this shit, like from my stories and from what I post, because my Instagram followers, they were the first to know. And it wouldn't feel right if I were to leave YouTube for a couple of days and come back. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to know anything about my music, some new videos, or whatever I got going on personally, not like anything deep, but just what I got going on as to why videos ain't uploading or whatever, or, you know, just what I got going on behind the scenes, just follow my Instagram. Follow my Instagram. I have Twitter as well, not really on there. I did have TikTok. I got 8K on TikTok, but that's because I was posting content maybe about 3 years ago before all my content got blocked because of copyright music, but I'll be back on there soon. I just gotta get some clips. But in the meantime, I cut my locks off, man. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. Even if you ain't new and you ain't subscribed, just, hey, join the one-way army, bro. Just click that subscribe button. Join the one-way army, bro. We're trying to take over YouTube, bro. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like. Subscribe to the channel so we can grow our following. Hit that post notification bell so you never miss an upload. I'm One Way June, and y'all know we are out of here.